welcome everyone. This is the Parent Academy to Go, a glimpse of ParentVUE. We are so excited to have our colleagues, our community partners, our families with us this evening. So what we'll do first is I'd like to introduce myself, and my name is Danielle Wilson-Saller. I'm from Student, Family, and School Services. We are the office that serves and supports our families, and we welcome you. I'd like to also now introduce our community partner. Ting, would you go ahead and introduce yourself and share the housekeeping items as well?
Sure, thank you, Danielle. Good evening, everyone. My name is Ting Mei Chow. I'm the president of Chinese American Parents Association of Montgomery County, and we are very lucky and very appreciative of MCPS Parent Academy, especially to Danielle and her colleagues tonight to really put together this one for our community and also for the community at large. I know that for the websites, we've been all learning this challenge, a learning curve for all of us and our kids. So we're very grateful for that. Because of our community needs. So I will give a summary Chinese translation of those house items quickly so everybody can understand. That's the house rule. 大家好，我是周定美，我是孟军华人家长会的会长。今天晚上非常感谢我们的孟军公校的 Parent Academy， 也就是家长学院，他们提供给我们这个合作的项目，就是跟大家讲解有关孩子们上公校用的一些网上的平台，重要的我们可以利用来看孩子的作业啊，他的 grade 啊，或者种种的跟学校沟通的。那首先呢，在这里呢，需要跟大家解释一下，就是这个我们叫做开会的程序和注意的事项。第一就是请你把自己静音，如果你还没有的话。第二呢，就是你可以选择或者开录像或者不开也行。第三，你如果有问题的话，中文也好，英文也好，麻烦你可以打到 chat 里头。他们今天的程序呢，就是首先前面大概30到40分钟是一个讲解的部分，有这个PowerPoint slide。后面呢就有 Q&A， 所以你有问题的话，后面回答问答的部分呢就可以提问，而且呢问答的部分是不会录音的，所以只是在 presentation 这一段时间，就是他讲解的这一部分呢是录音，所以后面呢就是大家可以留下来提供问题，最后呢就是如果你们还有什么其他的问题，或者今天晚上没讲到的，我们也可以在这个 chat 里头提出来，或者给我留言，我们都可以在后面再继续安排，可以继续跟他们合作来提供这些讲座。所以谢谢。So I explained the house rules already and all the questions, Q&A sections and everything already. Thank you, Danielle.
Thank you, Ting. Giuseppina, would you now introduce yourself?
Hi, everybody. I'm Giuseppina Elving. I'm a parent community coordinator. Welcome to this evening.
Ava, would you introduce yourself? You're on mute, Ava.
Trying to hurry up. Good evening. My name is Aba. I am an Amharic speaking parent community coordinator system-wide, here to learn and support.
Katie?
Hi, everyone. My name is Katie Marcoux. I am one of the technology implementation specialists in the Office of Technology Innovation.
And Ryan?
And my name is Ryan McNavage. I'm also one of the technology implementation specialists like Katie.
Thank you all for being here with us. With no further ado, we will offer a glimpse at ParentVUE.
Danielle, we have Annie and Lily somewhere in here. Did you hear me?
Yes, we were.
Hi. Yeah. Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, it is Annie. I'm the parent community coordinator.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Lily. I'm the Chinese speaking PCC.
Thank you so much. Sorry, you guys. Just wanted to, I guess I'm excited about learning about ParentVUE, so let me say it again. With no further ado, a glimpse at ParentVUE. Thank you, guys.
All right, so I'm going to do the first half of the presentation, and then Katie is going to do the second half, and then we'll have some time for questions and answers at the end. One of the things that you'll see on the bottom left of this slide and on the bottom left of most slides is that there is a bit.ly web link that will take you to this presentation if you want to follow along or just have it as a reference for later. Next slide. So on our agenda tonight, we're going to do a couple things. Most parents have already created and activated their ParentVUE account, but we're going to review that just in case some people haven't. We're going to talk about the different types of information that's available in ParentVUE and in myMCPS classrooms. There's actually two systems that work together with each other. You're going to learn how to get into myMCPS Classroom from ParentVUE, and there will also be some support materials that we go over.
Okay, Ryan, let me just briefly translate, just in case some parents. So, 大家好。那首先呢，他刚刚是讲了，今天他介绍的这个呢，下面的这个网页这一条呢比较重要的，大家可以记下来，因为这个呢之后假如你不明白的话，你可以上去上面，可是这里头也可以看得到，因为他会 record 这个今天就是记录今天晚上讲解的这些，所以如果你有任何问题，先把左下角的这个网页给记录下来。那今天晚上的 agenda 呢，就是首先告诉大家是怎么样子去开一个账户在这个公校里头这个 ParentVUE。另外呢，就是 ParentVUE 里头有哪些东西家长可以看的，有关你的孩子，有关你自己以及公校的信息。然后呢，还有第三个就是如何你孩子平时用的已经 myMCPS Classroom 就是我的课堂，这个孩子用的和其他的 online 的可以连接到 ParentVUE 里头。最后呢，就是如何可以接收到更多有关于这些的信息。Okay, I'm done. Thank you.
Okay, next slide, please. Actually, one more slide. All right, so the first thing that we're going to talk about is how you activate your account. So basically, parents were given or were sent an email, or they were either got an email on their computer, or they got a piece of mail, an actual piece of mail that was sent home that would have had their activation information, how to activate their account. So you can see on the slide, on the image on the slide, you can see that there's a graphic or a picture. One is on the left is the actual mail. On the right is the email. And basically, parents follow the steps that are written out in this guide, and it's a pretty simple process to activate their account. The one thing I want to point out is at the bottom right of this screen, if you were having trouble with your account, maybe you didn't see one of your students or just weren't able to log in, there is a phone number and an email that you can contact.
这个主要是讲你如何 log in。如果你本身呢，一般正常的话，你如果有 email， 你的电邮在公校里头有记录，或者你的地址，你应该是收到这些信，告诉你去 activate。但假如你真的没有，我们可能很多时候没收到，或者有的时候忘了，或者怎么样子，那随时可以打这个电话或者下面的电邮的这个地址。就是240-740-7020 Community Tech Support at MCPS-MD.org. Ryan, I have a question. I'm one of those very bad ones that I lost my mail or somehow I forgot it. That's how it kind of delays. So can I call this line and get that information?
You could either call the phone number below or you could contact the school where your student goes to.
哦，假如呢，如果你忘了哈，或者从来没有进去的话呢，你可以直接找自己孩子所在的学校，或者现在这个电话240-740-7020。Okay, thank you.
Next slide, please. One more slide. So this is kind of just we'll walk quickly through the steps of activating your account if you haven't done so. So you can see this is the email version. There's also the if you received an actual letter in the mail, there's a pretty similar process. It's a slightly different since it's a paper copy of the activation letter. But you can see that in the middle of the email, there is a link that you would click on, and it would basically take you to the next screen where you would click accept. And it's basically you're accepting the MCPS privacy statement. It is the same one that you accepted in previous years. The one thing that I will say is if everyone has their own unique link, their own unique activation code, don't share it with a neighbor who might not have gotten his or hers, because then your neighbor will be logged in as you.
All right, so let me quickly translate that part. 第一步呢，就是你应该在收到的信上面呢，是可以有那个直接的 link， 而且这个 link 呢，就是这个链接是非常只是你自己的，上面的这些 key 呢，也都是你个人的，所以呢，不要跟其他人分享。Okay.
Okay, next slide. So once you click accept, you basically enter what you want to be your username. You enter what you want to be your password twice, and then you enter your primary email. So if a teacher tries to contact you through Synergy, through ParentVUE, this is the email that contact would go to.
Ryan, does the password is yourself generated, or you have to be the same as your email password, like when you log into your email?
You are setting up what you want your username to be and what your password is. So it's whatever you want it to be.
OK， 这里呢，就是首先就是你要自己set 一个用户名，对吧？然后你的密码，这个都是可以自由设置的，就是根据它要求的，就最少是6个数字，6个字母或者数字。然后呢，你再重复一次输入这个密码之后呢，那以后呢，这个电邮呢，就是学校跟你联系所用的所有的这个交流信息都通过这个 email 来进行。Okay.
Next slide, please. So once you do that, then you are logged into ParentVUE, and you will be taken to the ParentVUE dashboard, which will look similar to what you see on the screen. Basically, you'll see your students listed on the screen. You also will be able to toggle between the students by clicking on the top left area. The other thing that I want to point out is at the bottom right, where it says English on this screenshot, is where you can change the language in ParentVUE. So if you want to have it in a language other than English, that's where you can change the wording and all of the text in ParentVUE.
Ryan, how many languages available? Like 8, 9, Chinese probably one of them, Spanish, Korean, Vietnamese?
There are probably about 30 or 40 languages. It's
wow.
a quite extensive list.
Okay. 这个呢，就是你一进去以后，你开了这个用户进去以后呢，你会看到这个左手边主要的就是功能的这些点按的键钮，然后最主要是右下角你看到它有个英文，那这个英文呢，它就可以改变成中文的话呢，那你就可以在这里可以看到很多信息就是中文的，你可以选择，还有其他大概30到40种的语言。
Okay, next slide, please. One more slide. So this is actually more of what an actual ParentVUE dashboard would look like. So what I'm going to do on this slide is explain some of the major things, and then on the next 6 or 7 slides, we're going to go into a little bit of further detail on some of the more important pieces. So as I mentioned up at the top left of the screen, you can toggle between multiple students. So if you have 2 students you'll be able to switch between them from the top left. And then you can see on the left side is the main menu where you can do things like send emails to teachers. You can see upcoming due dates for assignments. You can check attendance. You can check grades. And you can also, in the Parent Resources tab, that's where you would go to myMCPS Classroom.
这一个版本呢是很重要的。如果大家怕掉了的话，你可以照个相留下来哈。首先呢，左上角最上角的地方呢，就是你可以根据你们家几个孩子来转换，看到几个孩子的都在这里头。那第一个呢，就是它可以 send Gmail， 就是这个就是电邮，这老师给你寄的电邮就在这信息。另外呢，就是所有的你的孩子的要交的功课什么时候到期，什么时候需要交。第三个呢，就是你孩子上课，他到底有没有上课，是不是登记了，他到底是不是在房间里头做别的，那你这里是可以看得到的。还有呢，第4个呢，你就可以看到你孩子上课的，他每一堂课的这个 schedule， 就是他上课的日程哈，每一天是怎么上什么课，几点到几点。还有呢，当然就是你孩子的成绩。然后呢，他每个成绩呢，他有的时候就是根据每个作业给的，所以你进去以后可以看他交了作业没有，作业的这个最后的成绩是多少接着呢，在下面呢，就是每个学期或者quarter， 它有这个 report card 成绩卡、成绩单，你也可以在这里看。然后最后一个呢，这个 Parent Resource 这里头你就可以直接接到你孩子的这个上课的那个平台，就是 myMCPS Classroom。此外呢，还有假如你想看有关学校，比如说要考试的这个 MAP， 或者MAP 这种考试是有什么信息的，它的成绩表是怎么样子的，就是它会给你更多的解释，那就是在这个 document 里头。所以这边左手边的这一些，就有了你孩子的基本上上学的很多重要的东西，你都可以在这里看到。Okay.
Next slide, please. So one of the first items on the menu is Synergy Mail. And this is where you'll be able to easily send emails to your child's teachers, and you will also receive an email from your children's teachers.
这个呢，就是主要就是进去看电邮的时候，你基本上可以一下子看到他哪几个老师，所以你很容易的就用上面的这个几个功能，可以给这个老师写信。Okay.
Next slide, please. So this is the next item is the calendar, and this is a reflection of the Synergy Gradebook. So when a teacher enters an assignment into the Synergy Gradebook, it will appear on the calendar. And so you'll be able to click on the assignment and you'll be able to see the details. Most of the time, those details are going to include things like the number of points available and maybe the standards that's linked to. Now, the one thing I do want to point out with the calendar is basically when the teacher puts the assignment into their gradebook, which means some teachers might put the assignments into their gradebook a day or two before the assignment is due, or some teachers might grade the assignment and then enter the assignment into their gradebook. So this isn't always the best area to check due dates. Katie, in a little bit, will show you myMCPS Classroom where where you'll be able to see a better glimpse of upcoming due dates for assignments.
OK， 这个呢就是讲到日历，基本上如果那个老师利用他们的这个评估成绩的这个平台输入成绩以后，你应该就在这里看到，或者他输入说什么时候到期要交功课啊，具体的信息你可以看到。但他强调一点的是，有的时候这个老师呢，他未必利用这个平台来输入，所以呢这些信息呢未必是十分准确的。最准确的呢还是要去到 myMCPS Classroom，就是下左角的连接到你孩子的这个自己本身的这个用Chromebook里头的这些呢是最准的，而且信息是最全的。但是这个大概给你一个大概的就是大概的流程和知道主要的事件。Okay.
Next slide, please. The next area is attendance. And the attendance tab, there's two parts to it. The top part is basically going to show daily attendance. So you have a calendar grid, and you'll see whether the student was present. If you don't see anything, the student is present. But you'll also see if they were absent or tardy on any particular day. The bottom part shows attendance by course. So you can see that maybe if they were tardy or absent on, we'll say, October 22nd, you can see was it maybe just for a particular period that they were absent, that they didn't attend.
这个呢就是孩子们上课的记录一般来说上面呢就是整天的，就是一开始上学的时候他有没有报到了，记录下来他今天上学。如果没什么事的话，这些日子没有任何 notes 啊什么，那就代表他上了。在下面的话呢，他会看到他每个时间段，他有没有是不是每个时间段上课都准时，或者他有迟到，那这里呢也会体现出来。Okay.
All right, next slide, and I believe this is where Katie is going to take over.
Yes, it is. Okay. So the next option is the Gradebook. And when you click on Gradebook, you'll see each class and the current grade. But when you click on the name of the class, then you'll be able to get in and see all the individual assignments that create the grade that you're seeing in the Gradebook.
这一页呢就是最主要了，就是成绩单，对吧？成绩单呢表面呢你只是在这里头看到它一科大概是多少，比如说它是拿A 还是 B 还是 CD， 但是如果你按到里头去呢，它会告诉你这个 B 是怎么得来的，他做了多少份功课，每一份功课算多少点，就是它有个基点啊，或者这种循序渐进的加起来累积的最后的成绩。所以你如果点进去的话，你可以看到更多的他每一份功课有没有交。OK。
Also, within the report card, you will be able to see the interim reports.
另外呢，就是在这个成绩单里头的时候，你还可以看到，就是中间就是每一个阶段，你大概它的这个成绩单是多少。All right.
When you open up the Documents tab, you'll be able to access to open and print the interim if you'd like to.
如果你按到里头，它会有一个整个的这个成绩单在一张纸上，那你可以打印出来也没问题。Okay.
Under the Parent Resources tab, this is where you will go to access myMCPS Classroom. There's also some access to some curriculum resources, but this is where you will go in order to get into myMCPS Classroom. You have to start at ParentVUE in order to get in to myMCPS Classroom.
这里呢，现在讲到就是作为家长更多的资源，第一个就是 myMCPS Classroom。 那这个呢是很重要，就是你基本上作为家长，你如果想进去的话哈，不是用你孩子的电脑或者你自己这个 account 进去，你是先要 sign into ParentVUE， 就是我们刚刚讲的那个设立的，进去以后就可以进去，看到这个 myMCPS Classroom 你孩子的更多的 detail， 而且呢，它也给你提供，比如说学校的午餐吃饭，它的 menu 怎么样，小学的这个他们的课程设计。中学的课程设计的很多有关的这些信息都在里头。Okay.
Once you're in myMCPS Classroom, you'll be able to see, you'll see course tiles for each of your students' classes. And if you have more than one student, you'll see course tiles for all of your students. This is a place where teachers and school leaders can make announcements, share calendars. This is where the instruction is happening during the distance learning. And parents have an observer role in myMCPS Classroom, which means they have like a high level, they can see what their student is working on, but they're not going to be able to see other students' information.
在这个呢是如果你进去 myMCPS Classroom， 通过你的 ParentVUE 进去呢，你就可以看到一块一块板块，而且这个板块是你所有孩子的课，你都可以见到所有的板块。比如说我有个孩子4门课，你就看到4个板块；你有2个孩子10门课，你看到10个板块。另外呢，他说这个在这个板块里头呢，你作为家长，你是可以就是作为视察者的一个角色，所以你呢这个角色呢只是给你，也只能你看到，别的人看不到。另外你也看不到别的学生的，你只看到你自己孩子的。Okay.
All right. So once you're in myMCPS Classroom, as a parent, you can check the grades. You can check assignments and a description and all that from the assignments tab. You can also check the due dates and descriptions on the calendar, or you can open up a course tile and see within each of the individual assignments. What you won't be able to see is the actual assignment or any feedback that the teacher gave the student.
所以在这个你如果按到这个 course 里头，你如果 check assignment， 因为每一堂课它上面都有一些 assignment 的，你如果按进去呢，你可以看到它的 grade 啊，它交了没有啊，什么时候交啊，但是呢，你是不会看到真正的那个作业的内容，以及那个老师跟学生说了什么样子的回馈哈，这个是作为你如果进去 ParentVUE 进去你是看不到的。Okay.
There are 2 views for your dashboard when you open up myMCPS Classroom. One is the list view, and this will allow you to see a to-do list for students from all of their courses. It'll show you all of their courses, and it'll show you all of the items that they need to get done. It'll show you that as long as an assignment has a due date, it'll show you if something has been submitted, if it's missing or graded. It'll also be a place where those reoccurring Zoom meeting dates and times would appear.
那如果在这个左边你看到你怎么样子看这个电脑上怎么呈现的信息呢？有2种，一种呢就是一张卡式的，另外一种呢是 list view。list view 就是一条一条的信息给你，那这里条呢，它就所有的功课什么时候是到期，它从最早的一直到最晚的，是吧？然后呢，另外就是还有它所有的功课，它会告诉你他交了没有，还是没交，然后老师评分没有，最后呢还告诉你这个 Zoom 每天上课的这个 Zoom link 也告诉你，所以你在这呢这样子看呢，你也就一目了然，看得比较清楚了。Okay.
So student assignment details is
I think you're mute there, Margaret.
How did I get muted? Okay. The student assignment details allows you to click on assignments, and then you would be able to see the assignment details and what the assignment looked like for the student. You wouldn't actually be able to see the actual student's work or assignment.
就是你进去这个 assignment 以后，它有一个 submission detail， 就是你交的细节，你按了以后呢，它就会告诉你你交的就是这个大的这个 assignment 是什么，但是你是看不到你实际上孩子交的是什么的。Okay.
So parents and students should go to ParentVUE or StudentVUE for the official source of grades. And I did see that this was one of the questions in the chat. In order to see what the current grade is in a student's, for a student's class, the source of truth is always the gradebook in ParentVUE. The grades tab in myMCPS Classroom is being removed by teachers so that the confusion that people are seeing is eliminated. And so your source of truth for both the parent and the student will always be ParentVUE for the grades.
这个很重要哈，就是说现在本身 myMCPS Classroom 有一些 grade， 但是呢 Parent Student View 的这个才是真正官方的最后的成绩单，所以你要看最正式的成绩单呢，你一定是要去 Parent 或者 Student View 里头看。现在呢，目前他们的老师也开始学会，也免得这个混乱，所以他们现在 myMCPS Classroom 的这些 grade 呢，现在是慢慢的就不用了。所以呢，大家要知道孩子的真正的最后成绩呢，一定要去 Parent 那里哈 ，Parent View。OK。
One of the things you will want to do when you have logged into myMCPS Classroom is adjust your notification. So in order to do that, once you've logged in, so your path is going to go like this. ParentVUE, log into ParentVUE, click on Parent Resources, click on myMCPS Classroom, and then you'll be in myMCPS Classroom. You'll want to click on Account, and then the first option is Notifications. And then you will be able to identify how and when you want to be notified for different features or activities within a course. Now, this is as your account. So this is across the board. This would mean for every single one of your students' classes. So if you only want to see on the due date, you can set it up to be whatever one you want using the code or the key across the top. The check mark means to notify me right away. The clock means to send a daily summary. A calendar means send a weekly summary. And an X means I don't want to hear notifications about about this ever.
Wow, this is definitely very helpful for me personally because I constantly getting all those emails and I don't know how to stop. So my question for Margaret is that by default, if you don't do anything, it's going to send to you constantly? Okay.
It's going to send it however it's set up and you're going to have like checked, notify me right away, a lot of the different items.
Okay, I see. All right. 所以这个呢，现在这个是很重要的，就是从 ParentVUE 里头进去 Parent Resource， 第三个 Parent Resource 下面 myMCPS Classroom 进去以后呢，它有一个 account， 那个 account 就是家长，你这个 account 里头有一个叫 notification 的意思就是通知你，你想设立它多经常性的通知你，所以你在下面看 notification preference。这下面的时候呢，它会有一个是 一有事情你就立即 send 个 email 到我这个 account 里头，还是你集中一整天把所有有关的一次过送给你，还是第三个，这个你是想每个星期全部集中一次送给你，还是永远都不要告诉我什么事情，我自己进去查就行了，你们不要自动给我送 email。 那这下面呢，还有就是有关他上课的，你想哪些内容，你想 due date 还是你想就是你交功课的，你是不是要，或者说现在成绩单评估的变了或者说上课的内容变了，或者说任何的这个有一些资料资讯，或者有一些公告这种种下面的，还有 grading 这是成绩单，这是很重要的，还有 invitation 邀请的这些。所以你在这下面你看到它右手边利用你的电邮，你想他什么时候通知你，你看到这个好多个家长在后面按了交叉，那个就是永远都不要通知我，真正通知我的就是2样东西，公告，然后呢就是成绩单，一个星期通知一次的就是功课什么时候交，然后每天通知一次的就是submission comment， 就是他今天交了，老师给他评估。所以这个呢是你可以用来去掌控你每天收到多少信息的一个重要，因为它这个是自动跑到你的电邮里头去的，所以这个是很重要的。Okay, this is very helpful for me at least. I never realized that. 如果你什么都不做的话呢，最重要的，如果你什么都不做的话，那你就是随时就是一天他就不停的给你送，他就没有任何节制，他就等于第一个 notify me right away.
So if you're working on the mobile application, you'll go to settings, and then where it says push notifications, SMS notifications, and Slack notifications, you will select push notifications, set your settings, do SMS notifications, set your settings, and then Slack notifications and set your settings.
这个呢就是你在手机上呢，你想经常多怎么看呢？这是在手机上你可以在你的setting 里头看到它有一些叫 push notification， 有一个是 SMS， 这个是信息的， Slack 的 notification 就是如果你用这个 Slack 的话应该是，那然后呢你在这边还有可以说 all submission 还是 announcement， 这些你都可以挑， course content 就是内容什么时候交作业公告这些你都可以选择的，在手机上的功能。 OK。
So the desktop versus the mobile, it's an age-old question at this point. So for students on a desktop, once they've logged into Chromebook or Google Chrome, they are logged into Synergy and myMCPS Classroom. Once they've logged into a Chromebook or into Google Chrome, if they're on a PC, they're automatically logged into Synergy and myMCPS Classroom. Links are easily accessible from the MCPS Resources tab in the Bookmarks bar, and all accessed within Google Chrome, or everything is within Google Chrome, so they should always be using Google Chrome. For parents, you can use a desktop or mobile to check the grades, attendance, documents, or email. We suggest using a desktop for checking your student work and feedback. It just has a better experience. You will need to manage multiple apps if you're using mobile versions, for instance, ParentVUE and Canvas. Right now, those two applications on a mobile phone are not talking to each other. So you would have a ParentVUE app, and then you would have a Canvas app. You can always log into a desktop version from a mobile phone by going through Google Chrome.
这个呢就是说，那什么时候觉得用手机还是用这个电脑坐式电脑来查这些信息呢？他基本上说学生呢，你只要是用 Chromebook 或者说你进去这个Google Chrome 的话呢， 你就自然的就已经进去了 Synergy， 就是他们整个系统吧，就等于开了那个门进去了。那基本上一进去呢，所有的东西都在里头了，它不需要再去刀转不同的这个程序来取得这些信息。但对于家长来说呢，手机呢一般来说就可以用来查电邮啊，他的 grade 啊，他自己上课啊，他的成绩单啊，简单的这些你可以用手机或者电脑都行。但是呢，如果说看学生的交的作业的内容，或者想看老师对学生的评价啊，这些更细节的东西呢，可能是用这个坐式电脑是最好的。因为呢，你要用手机的话呢，有的时候不同的手机版本，它还需要你要用不同的平台，就是 ParentVUE 要用，然后你还要用 Canvas， 所以这样子呢也会比较麻烦。OK.
Okay. So some resources for you. If you have accessed our slideshow, you can click on each of these links for some additional information or support. This is a ParentVUE support guide. This is a link to our website. You also can download ParentVUE on either from the iTunes App Store or the Google Store. And all of these are links, so you can, if you've accessed our presentation. And Danielle, if you want to go ahead and put the link one more time in the chat for those people that just joined us. You can access the presentation, and then you can have access to each of these. Additionally, we do want to call your attention to the ParentVUE support line is this phone number or this email address. You can email or call. We have a number of employees working these lines with information to support you, and then they know where to funnel the information if it is beyond their ability. So I definitely want to give you encourage you to reach out to these lines if after tonight you still are having trouble activating your account.
那最后呢，这里就是有关怎么样子进去这个 ParentVUE 的这个平台的。那上面还有它就是你可以在手机上 download 这些程序，就是 ParentVUE、StudentVUE 都可以。然后他们也有这些链接给你这些仔细的讲解。当然最后可以的话，你可以打这个电话或者电邮，而且电话呢是有多个教育工作者，他们公校的人专门会听的。所以呢，今天晚上之后，假如你想登录的话，登到这个平台有问题，你就可以直接找他们就可以了。